Nice to see you. How have you been? Glad to see you're back in one piece. How are you, Dusty?
Everything looks good on my station, Captain.
Acknowledged. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. The commander will be waiting for you in operations.
All is well, Captain. All things considered.
You look well.
Whew. Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Follow me.
I had a friend on the Regana. I hope I'll be able to see him next time we're on shore leave.
Howdy.
I got mess hall duty next week. Everybody's gotta take their turn. Excuse me. Hello?
I woke up in the middle of the night once and found Ensign Betty tinkering with some machine. Does she ever sleep? United Colony System Defense at your service.
First mission in the books and no casualties. Good work.
You have permission to speak freely. We got the message from the Regana about Austin Rick. We had him dropped off at a separate port, off the books. Suffice to say, he's got a lot to answer for. Please, proceed with your report. That's something we're looking into, but it doesn't seem like he knows much. He might be better served as bait. For now, we'll keep him in the brig. Perhaps you could pay him a visit there sometime? I'm sure he'd be pleased to see you. That's a smart line to follow. Part of this role you're playing means having to make hard choices. Just remember not to lose yourself in the part.
We did our best not to cross the line, but the more we do, the more we risk exposing the deception.
Oh, one more thing before we move on. For transparency's sake, you should know we were the ones that hired Ecliptic to attack Neva's ship. There was concern after what happened with the Regana that you might have trouble earning Neva's trust. Coming to her rescue ensured that would not be a problem. They are mercenaries for hire. If they are paid enough money, Ecliptic would attack the Vigilance. It wasn't terribly difficult to convince them to attack an isolated Crimson Fleet ship. Just expensive. Ah, so I take it you have good news. Were you able to join the fleet? Then it worked. You're in. Sounds like everything is going as expected. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Neva Mora.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet. The woman has a record that could stretch across Sol and back. She started young as one of Neon's street rats and worked her way up to second in command. She's a force to be reckoned with, so don't underestimate her. Yes, you passed your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda? Where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
What is there to know? He is pirate scum, like all of them.
Exactly. The Crimson Fleet is not a monolith. Any information you have on its members can only help. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the key. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the information to the crew. I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed.
Things are progressing rather quickly. I'm sure the commander is pleased.
We've been trying for years to get someone on the inside, and now we have it.
The system was originally called Alpha Ophiuchi, until a flag was planted there by Jasper Crix, the founder of the Crimson Fleet. Since it was crucial that space travelers avoided that system, navigators marked it as Crix on star maps as a warning. They could have just as easily labeled it Crimson Fleet, so I'm guessing the pirates themselves were responsible for spreading their leader's name. Over the years, people forgot the system's original designation and started calling it the Crix system. It's been that way ever since. Sure, we have a database of profiles you can read, which should help you ingratiate yourself with the group. However, the profiles are a guide, not gospel. Use what you can, fill in the blanks, and play off that. I imagine when you're done, you'll be able to generate far more accurate profiles than what we have in our system. That's right. It's something we've requested a while ago, in preparation for a future conflict with the fleet. Once we finalize everything and run a few tests, we'll have the defenses needed for a jump to the Crix system when the time comes. Two reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight. Good luck on the key.
Oh, hello. I don't think we've met. Are you by chance new here?
Did you have to chase that fleet ship through that asteroid belt?
Yes, sir. Protocol says we prioritize the mission.
Provided it's safe. At some point, the risk isn't worth catching a few criminals.
Oh, right, sir. My mistake.
Just try and show a little
Wait,
concern.
I know that name. You're that dangerous Pteramorph Slayer everyone is talking about. Well, don't worry. I'm not scared of you. My godmother was a member of the Strikers gang, and you're not even half as scary as her. My name is Javanta. I'm an ensign with the maintenance and robotics team. And just between you and me, I don't think you're dangerous. Do you? Aren't we all? I know people look at me funny when I say I'm from Neon, like it's some alien planet where only debauchery is allowed. But first of all, every planet is alien. Second of all, it is perfectly okay to be normal on Neon. No one's going to arrest you for staying home and watching TV. Anyway, it was very nice to meet you. If you want to talk some more, I will be here. Oh, I have so many questions. There is not enough time to ask them all. But I won't ask about your Vanguard duties, as I'm sure you're tired of people asking. Instead, I will ask you a very simple question. Are you a morning, afternoon, or night person? I do like taking afternoon naps, but only after I wake up bright and early. Do I? I guess that's a compliment. Everything is just better in the morning. The food, the air, the coffee. But the thing I like best is the quiet. When I can look out into space and see the whole galaxy is asleep. When it's that quiet, the only noise you hear is from the Vigilance itself. In fact, we keep each other company when the world is too busy snoring in their beds. It makes it so the mornings are just for us. It's a good question.
Well, if
It was what you'd call a minor moral crisis.
I thought it was a volunteer force.
I wasn't happy with my old job at Drone. I felt like my life was on an assembly line. Everything was about profit, and nothing had any real meaning. But then it occurred to me, if I'm so miserable, I could just leave. So one day I just
You don't say.
did.
Well,
Sistef is far from perfect, but our goal is noble. I can sleep soundly knowing my work will be for a cause that is just. Oh, I'm part of the maintenance team that makes sure the Vigilance is operating smoothly. On the robotic side, I take care of the Model A's on the ship and make sure they're treated with respect and dignity. They are people, after all, just like us. Not here, but at Drone, clients would come in and bring their robots for maintenance. And the condition these robots were in was appalling. Not to mention the way they were talked down to. Personally, I think the way you treat your robots says a lot about you. See? I knew there was something I liked about you. Machines are very dear to me. Think of it this way. How can we expect a robot to fight by our side if we won't fight for their right to exist? So I always do my best to treat them as my equals. Oh, yes! And we have a new prisoner in the brig. It's really sad the fleet couldn't just leave him be. And having left a toxic situation to come here, I can relate to wanting to escape. Although, no one's tried to have me killed, so. Goodbye!
We don't have a full map of the fleet's roster. The members changed too quickly.
heard the Regana made it to port with 0 casualties. Nicely done.
This is just the beginning, but it's an important first step. Be careful. Don't underestimate the Crimson Fleet. Our directive is simple. We are tasked with the eradication of space piracy in the settled systems. As the chief source of pirate activity, the Crimson Fleet is our primary target. Extremely critical. It's unfortunate the Regana caught itself in the crossfire of Neva Mora's personal vendetta. Fortunately, your actions allowed the Regana to reach New Homestead with its cargo intact. They're a menace to civilized society. They attack supply ships, terrorize systems, and kill innocents, all under a banner of greed. But it's not just that. I strongly believe that the UC has a duty to destroy the Crimson Fleet. After all, it was our fault that the Crimson Fleet was unleashed upon the settled systems in the first place. I'm not at liberty to explain the origin of the Crimson Fleet right now, but suffice to say, it's a massive embarrassment to the UC. All I can tell you is that the key and the planet that it's orbiting once belonged to the United Colonies, and they were lost to those pirates. The Crimson Fleet is a product of our negligence, and I aim to rectify that mistake. I've asked my superiors the same thing, but the Council is resistant to the notion that the Crimson Fleet is a serious threat. They perceive the pirates as simple opportunists and thieves, willing to betray each other the moment a better offer arrives. In actuality, I believe the fleet is a massive threat, one that's growing more and more organized as the years pass. Best of luck. You are headed into a snake pit. Be sure to watch your step.
Hello.
Sys-Def Marines are the best of the best.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Captain on deck.
Do you need me for something?
acknowledged. Dock where you like.